It's not about LeBron James anymore. It's about the next chapter, the James Legacy 2.0. You know the saying, like father, like son. Well, when your pops is the king himself, you better believe the spotlight is shining bright on the next generation. I'm talking about Brony and Brice James, the dynamic duo that's not riding on the coattails of greatness, but carving their path in the basketball scene.
Should have looked opposite wing on that one.
Forget what you thought you knew about them, because today we're uncovering the real deal, the scary truth of LeBron James's sons. Now, before we dive in, let's talk about the famous name they carry. It's a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's crucial to erase the famous name from your mind and evaluate Brony and Brice like any other prospects. On the flip side, that famous name could mean two massive benefits for whichever team drafts them: a surge in ticket sales, sponsorships, and merchandise, and the once-in-a-lifetime chance to bring King James himself to the squad. LeBron has made it clear that he's ready to join the team that drafts his son, adding a whole new dynamic to the NBA landscape. Now, as both of these young ballers skyrocket through the ranks of basketball, inevitable comparisons are raining down. But before we dissect the truth, let's take a moment to send our best wishes to Brony. Though he is back on the court, we've all got our fingers crossed for the kid's health. These two kids have weathered the storm of scrutiny with poise, but amidst the chaos, fans worldwide are clamoring to settle the debate. Who's got the upper hand as they lace up and charge onto the court? As they climb the ranks of the basketball world, the comparisons are becoming inevitable. But before we unravel the jaw-dropping info shared by ESPN's Brian Windhorst, let's rewind a bit. We should get to know these young guns. Background: Brice and Brony have grown up in the larger-than-life shadows of their basketball league dad. I mean, we're talking about LeBron, the NBA's all-time scorer, a four-time NBA champion, and a four-time NBA Finals MVP. With a legacy as colossal as LeBron's, it's no surprise that the expectations for these young guns are sky-high. They've been groomed for greatness, and the world is watching as they navigate the spotlight. Now, let's peel back the curtain and expose the heart of the matter. Starting with Brice, we've got a point guard extraordinaire on our hands. His passing ability and basketball IQ are beyond his years, making him a true floor general. The way he controls the tempo of the game is reminiscent of seasoned veterans, and his decision-making in crunch time is simply clutch. But it's not just about the brains for Brice. Standing tall at 6'6", this young gun has inherited more than just his father's last name. The physical prowess and height give him a distinct advantage on the court. Brice might not be your flashy, dynamic athlete from the get-go, but don't let that fool you. He's a fundamentally sound player with a solid perimeter size that's perfect for his position. Give this guy time and space, and he'll run his race, showcasing a skill set that's beyond his years. Brice has a clear shooting potential that's hard to ignore. With a naturally soft touch, a compact release, and the ability to drain threes and pull-ups, he's a scoring threat from all angles. And don't sleep on that left hand. It's advanced for his age, adding another dimension to his game. Let's shift our focus to the other half of the James duo, Brony. This young gun is a player of many talents, excelling in multiple positions with a game that's as well-rounded as they come. Brony, a strong-bodied combo guard, doesn't just play the game, he defines it. Being LeBron's eldest son means his every move is scrutinized under the unforgiving public eye. He thrives under that pressure. What sets Brony apart is his well-rounded game. His best attribute is his basketball IQ and understanding how to impact the game without hogging the ball or taking bad shots. He's a team player, a willing passer, and an engaged defender, the kind of player coaches dream about. Brony's long-range shooting is a thing of beauty. With solid mechanics and a knack for knocking down open threes with ease, he's a scoring threat from downtown. He doesn't need to dominate the ball to make an impact, as he knows when to pick his spots. As a playmaker, he might not have fully developed into a half-court creator, but watch out when he's in transition. Brony can get downhill with the ball, absorb contact with that strong frame of his, and finish with authority at the rim. In the grand scheme of things, Brony might not always be the flashy name people expect from LeBron's offspring, but make no mistake, he's a well-rounded two-way player with a mature floor game. And let's not forget his high school days at Sierra Canyon in Los Angeles. A highly rated recruit and a McDonald's All-American, Brony averaged 14 points, 5.4 rebounds, 2.9 assists, and 1.8 steals per game in his senior year. Development. So, Brice found himself in a whirlwind of transfers leading into his junior season at Sierra Canyon High School. After a stint at Campbell Hall High School and a brief spell at Notre Dame High School, he's back where it all began. The twists and turns in Brice's journey were not just a matter of choice. The California Interscholastic Federation's Southern section deemed him ineligible as he transferred with Sierra Canyon's conference. A move to Notre Dame would have meant sitting out for half the season, but the CIF's Southern section's ABA rule worked in Brice's favor upon his return to Sierra Canyon, making him eligible immediately. Brony laid the groundwork at Sierra Canyon, but Brice saw limited minutes as a sophomore, with Brony commanding the spotlight. Now, as Brice steps back onto familiar turf, the hope is for more court time in his junior year. But he's up against some stiff competition. Senior forward Elam, an Arkansas commit, senior forward Noah Williams, and junior forward Brice Cofield are holding down the fort. It's a crowded roster, but with his versatile scoring abilities, Brice is a welcomed addition. Brice is in a familiar and supportive environment. He's returning to head coach Andre Chevalier's offensive system and reuniting with his teammates. The chemistry is there, and the hope is that more minutes mean more opportunities for him to shine. As Brice continues to refine his skills, there's potential for him to blossom into a solid college player. And who knows, the professional level might not be too far-fetched for this rising star. Meanwhile, Brony's journey to the college level wasn't without its challenges. An earlier health scare had us holding our breath, but this young baller has shown resilience, natural athleticism, and the determination that runs in the family. In his USC debut, Brony left his mark. Flashes of brilliance illuminated the game, showcasing his raw talent. He has honed his skills under the watchful eye of his legendary father and seasoned coaches. The learning curve is steep, but with every game, you can see the development, the refinement of his game, and the confidence building. Brony is a budding star with a high ceiling. The glimpses we've seen so far are just the tip of the iceberg. The potential to become a star player in the future is not a question of if, but when. The future holds endless possibilities for this young star. As he navigates college, expect to see Brony evolve into a key player. He may even become a star shining brightly in the basketball galaxy. The legacy continues, and Brony is writing his chapter. From the get-go, Brice and Brony found themselves in high-profile games and tournaments thanks to their famous father. The James legacy was a ticket to exposure on a global scale. College coaches, NBA scouts, and fans from every corner of the world tuned in to witness the next chapter in the James basketball saga. Their games, streamed online to a massive audience, became must-watch events. But with great exposure comes great pressure and expectations. The online audience, massive as it is, adds an extra layer of scrutiny. Every dribble and every shot is dissected, discussed, and debated by fans and critics alike. Now, determining who's the better player between Brice and Brony is no easy task. Brice has extraordinary court vision and passing ability. Brony adds another layer to this narrative with his versatility and athleticism. And just when you thought the narrative couldn't get more intriguing, enter Brian Windhorst with a bombshell. There are two people who told me that Brice actually might be the better prospect amongst the two. As they navigate through the early stages of their careers, only time will unveil the full potential of Brice and Brony James. Their skills are still in development, and the story is far from over. What's certain is that these two have set the stage for an exciting basketball journey. Father-son duo. In a conversation with The Athletic back in 2022, LeBron opened up about a dream that goes beyond championships and salary figures. He expressed his unwavering commitment to spend his last NBA season on the same team as his son, Brony. He declared, "My last year will be played with my son. Wherever Brony is at, that's where I'll be. I would do whatever it takes to play with my son for 1 year. It's not about the money at that point." As the basketball world eagerly awaits the unfolding of this story, one thing is certain: LeBron's final chapter in the NBA will be about more than just the game. It's about a father's promise to share the court with his son, creating a memory that goes beyond the scoreboards and the stat sheets. Now, before we wrap up, let's remember to pay homage to the legends of the game. In this next video, we've got an exclusive look at what NBA legends and players think of the one and only Stephen Curry. Legends recognizing legends. It's the magic of basketball.